Welcome to our classic workout. Today we're going to begin with walking in place, followed by marching, and then running in place. But first, we're going to walk in place for 1 minute. Walking in place is nothing more than lifting the feet off the floor and putting them back down, while the arms swing by the sides. Keeping the head over the pelvis. We're breathing. And it's a nice easy movement. You want to make it a little bit more difficult? You can go a little bit quicker. But we're just going to spend 1 minute here, letting those arms swing, lifting the feet off the floor. Have our head up. We don't have to be looking at our feet. Approaching the end of the minute. And we're going to begin to march. Now, as you can see, march is a little bit more range of motion for the arms and the legs. Bringing the knees up to hip height. The arms, increased range of motion. Maybe a little bend in the elbows. And it's an exaggerated walk. If this feels too difficult, then go back to walking in place. And if it's not difficult enough, try speeding it up a little bit. Maybe bring up the knees just a bit higher. Reach the arms a bit further, front and back. Always breathing, always keeping the head over the pelvis. Moving into running in place. Running in place is just what you expect it to be. Bringing the feet off the floor, lifting the knees, pumping the arms. It's a quick step. Here again, the head's over the pelvis. We're breathing. We're pumping those arms. If this is difficult, go back to marching. Right? If you want to stay walking, stay walking. But we are working through this minute. We're sticking with it. Running in place. I do let those heels hit the floor with each step. Coming up on a minute. Stay with it. Breathe. Excellent. Very nicely done. 10 push-ups, 10 crunches, 10 bridges. Do not hang your head in your push-up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press away. Modification, drop to the knees. Bring the chest down to the floor. Right? Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press. Very good. Now, moving into a crunch. We're going to bring our lower back down to the floor, our shoulders down to the floor, back of the head's on the floor. I'm going to slip the hands behind the head. Press the head into the hands into the head, elbows going out to the sides. Exhale, lift. Inhale on the way down. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Inhale down, exhale, lift. You want to squeeze out all the air behind the belly button. Very nice. Bridge. Bringing the arms down by the sides. Activating the hands for the heels. Heels are pressing into the floor. Back of the head's pressing into the floor. And we're lifting our hips. Here you're looking to lift your hips in between your shoulders and your knees. Inhale carries you down. Exhale, lift and squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze the glutes. We have 10 bridges. Staying with them. In a walkout, we take our hands to the floor, walk our hands out to plank position, and then walk the hands back to the feet, come back up to standing, reach over the head. And we're going to repeat this movement, walking the hands out, walking the hands back, reaching for the ceiling. In a good walkout, we always come all the way out to plank position, not cheating ourselves. And we stand all the way back up, bringing the head over the pelvis. As a modification, we can just touch the floor and reach for the ceiling. Inhale brings you down, exhale reaches for the ceiling. Very nice. Walking out, walking back. 1 minute. Staying with it. We're going to move into leg lifts. We have 1 minute of leg lifts. A leg lift is nothing more than being in plank position and lifting 1 foot towards the ceiling while maintaining our plank position. Hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the heel towards the ceiling, bringing it back down to the floor. Breathing as we go. Lift and down. Lift and down. If this is difficult, go back to plank or modified plank and hold while breathing. Again, we have 1 minute here. So if you want to start in one position and move to the other, that's more than welcome. If you can though, stick with the leg lifts. Great for the glutes. After leg lifts, we're going to move into bicycle. Bicycle, we're going to lay down on our backs. We're going to lift our legs into the air. Hands go by the sides, and we're going to draw circles. Here, the palms are pressed firmly to the floor, heads against the floor. You don't really need to look at your legs. Try to feel them. Try to imagine those circles. If you wish to make this a little bit easier, you can always take those feet up towards the sky, which I'll demonstrate. Or to make it a little bit harder, you can take your legs out towards the floor or away from your center, making it more difficult. And we're going to go in the reverse direction. We can also play with tempo. Sometimes the faster you go, the harder. Sometimes the slower you go, the harder it is. But you should always vary your speeds from workout to workout. Keep breathing. 30-second rest. Here, grab some water. Towel yourself off. Breathe. If you need to take a forward bend or any movements to release your back or your legs. And part 2 of our workout here, we're going to do walkouts with a push-up. Walk the hands out, just like you did before. Step the hands wide, do the push-up, and then return back to standing. We have 1 minute of walkouts with a push-up. Now you can always do a walkout and then modify and drop to the knees and do the push-up. Or you can stay in that full plank position. Walking out, separating the hands, push up, and then returning. You see that one with the modification. Walking the hands out, stepping the hands wide, dropping the knees, lowering the chest, pushing away, turning the hands, turning the feet. And we're going to move into marching the arms. We have 1 minute of marching the arms. This is where we take one hand off the floor and put it back down on the floor. Here you're looking to get your hand all the way up to your shoulder and back down. Now this can also be done with a modification. It can also be done a bit faster, make it a little bit harder. Keep breathing though. If you start to speed up, don't hold your breath. The modification. Again, marching the arms in the modification with the knees down. Bringing that hand all the way up to the shoulder and taking it back down to the floor. I'm not trying to shift my weight entirely from side to side here. Keeping that core on. Again, if you want to go a little bit slower, it might be more challenging to go slower. Might be easier. Next, I'll move into leg lifts. In leg lifts, I start with my legs pointing straight up at the ceiling. And here, what I'm looking to do is drop the heels towards the floor without creating a huge lower back curve. You want to try to keep the belly button moving towards the spine here. And then bringing the legs down and squeezing them back up. Inhale, lowers down. Exhale, pulls them back up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, pulls it back up. Hands are flat to the floor. And for the modification, you can bend at the knees. All I'm doing is tapping my feet to the floor and then pulling my knees back towards my chest. Again, if you're getting a huge lower back curve, I suggest modifying or shortening the range of motion. You do not want that lower back coming off the floor. It might lift up a little bit, but you don't want a giant curve. Always do things with proper form. Now coming into our 30-second break, you can do a little twist, breathe, towel off, drink water. Anything you'd like. Entering the last part of our workout, we're going to do a walkout, just like we did when we started. We're going to step the left foot forward, right foot forward, and we're going to reach for the ceiling. Taking the hands back down to the floor, left foot back, right foot back, walk the hands back, and reach for the ceiling. It's a walkout. Stepping the feet forward, this time the left, followed by the right. Reach for the ceiling, take it back down to the floor. Right foot back, left foot back, walk the hands back, and reach for the ceiling. Now, if you're comfortable with this, and you want to try something a little bit more challenging, instead of stepping those feet forward, you can hop them in between the hands, just like we do in our yoga workout. Excellent. Moving into around the block. Here, we're combining leg lifts and marching the arms. Left hand, right foot, left foot. Right around the block. Always trying to maintain a plank position here. Modification, drop those knees, just march the arms, or hold plank. Sticking with the minute here. Always breathing. Trying not to shift all that weight over to one side when you lift the body part. And coming around to scissor the legs for the last minute. Hands are out to the sides. Legs are straight up for the ceiling. Toes are pointed. And we're crossing the legs, opening and closing. Now if you have trouble getting your legs straight up for the ceiling, and your legs are at a 45-degree angle, and your lower back is creating a huge curve, you may want to think about modifying this position. Right? Or going back to leg lifts. I'm going to quarter turn so you can see. Arms are out, legs open, and then they close and cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze them closed. Reaching for the ceiling. Open, close. Open, close. You can use a little less range of motion. The further you go, the more difficult it becomes. Very nice. 1 minute rest. Well done. Well deserved. Towel off. Get a drink of water. We're going to prepare for our challenge. And we're coming into our challenge now. We have a balanced challenge today. It's standing on 1 foot. It'll be 30 seconds on 1 foot. Here you want to create a nice straight line from the top of the head to the heel of that standing leg. Breathing, focusing, switching sides. Here it helps to have a focal point, something in the room that's not moving, you fix your gaze on. Sometimes it helps to have the arms out to the side. And we just have the leg out in the front, standing up tall, breathing. Now, we do the opposite side with our eyes closed. Eyes closed offers a new challenge. There's 2 ways we balance in the world. First, we draw a horizon with our eyes. We balance ourselves against it. And the second way is we tune into our inner ear. And that's what we're doing with our eyes closed. Going over to the opposite side. Moving nice and slow. This is not easy. Again, we're tuning our inner ear here. Trying to maintain a steady position. You may find that hands on the hips is helpful. You may fall out. It's okay. We all fall. Our balance is new and different each day. And we're going to go ahead and let that go. And we're coming into our cool down now. We're going to do a couple of twists, one on each side. We start laying on our back. We hug the knee into the chest. I'm starting on my left side here. And I'm breathing into my belly. Right, trying to get our lower back to release. We want to hold the knee into our chest, giving that lower back an opportunity to relax before moving into the twist. The right leg's just hanging out. Well, now we're going to move into the twist. Left hand goes out to the floor, flat to the floor. Here, as we move into the twist, we're trying to keep the shoulder down on the floor. Bringing that left knee over to the right side. We want to look over our left shoulder. Now, it's perfectly fine if the knee does not hit the floor. We want to try to keep that left shoulder on the floor. Deepen your breath here. I'm doing this with a bent knee as I move into my twist. I'm really looking for a lower back release. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, you can try straightening that left leg. Creeping the left hand away from center. Most important part though, keep that shoulder on the floor. Deepen the breath. If at any point this becomes uncomfortable, let it go and try coming back into it. breathing. Seeing what you can let go of while keeping the shoulder on the floor. Bringing that knee back into center. We're going to release the leg out. And we're going to try the opposite side. Bringing that right knee into the chest, hugging it in, breathing into the belly. Hold this. No need to move immediately into the twist. This time it's my right leg into my chest. I'm going to leave my left hand on top of my right knee, bringing my right hand out to T position, palm flat to the floor. Bringing that knee over to the left side, that right knee over to the left side, looking over my right shoulder. When you look over your shoulder, you actually change the twist from the top of the head to the tailbone, rather than just making it from the tailbone to the shoulders. Twists are wonderful. They help detoxify the body. Again, breathe into the belly. You want to make this a little bit more intense? Take that leg out straight. Here, we're not looking for pain. You just want to find the lengthening of the spine. You might feel this in the lower back. You might feel this in the glutes. You might feel this up around your shoulders or in your neck. Try to pay attention to where you feel your twist. For tomorrow, it may be completely different. Breathing. Relaxing. We have 2 minutes on the right and 2 minutes on the left. Coming back to center, releasing the leg. Excellent work.